Every single morning you wake up, you're given something priceless. Time. Not money, not luck, not connections, time. And the truth is, most people waste it before they even get out of bed. They hit snooze, they scroll endlessly, they delay the very moment that could change their life. But you can be different. You can decide that when your eyes open, your purpose wakes up with you. That you are not just getting up to exist, you are getting up to move, to build, to grow, to dominate your day before it has a chance to control you. Because purpose is what separates the average from the unstoppable. When you wake up with purpose, you don't need someone to push you. You become your own fire. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. You don't ask, what do I feel like doing today? You say, what must be done today to get me closer to the life I want? That shift right there, that small decision in the morning, changes everything. Because success doesn't start at noon. It doesn't start next week. It doesn't start when you feel ready. It starts the moment you decide that your mornings matter. And let's be honest, it's not always easy. There are mornings when your body feels heavy, when your mind is full of doubt, when your bed feels warmer than your dreams. But that is exactly where the battle is won. Not in comfort, but in resistance. Not when it's easy, but when it's hard. Because every time you choose to get up with purpose despite how you feel, you are building something powerful inside you. You are building discipline. You are building resilience. You are telling yourself, I am in control. And that voice, that inner command, becomes stronger every single day you listen to it. Think about it. The people who achieve greatness are not superhuman. They just refuse to waste their mornings. They understand that how you start your day determines how you live your life. If you start slow, distracted, and unfocused, your whole day follows that pattern. But if you start with intention, energy, and clarity, you carry that momentum into everything you do. You walk differently, you think differently, you act differently. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. That's the power of waking up with purpose. It puts you in the driver's seat of your own journey. So tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, don't negotiate with it. Don't argue with it. Don't delay your greatness for 5 more minutes of comfort. Get up. Stand up with intention. Remind yourself who you are and where you're going. See your goals clearly. Feel that fire inside your chest. And move. Move like your dreams depend on it. Because they do. Use those early moments to set the tone, to align your mind, to prepare your body, and to commit your soul to the work ahead. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need a decision. A decision that today will not be wasted. A decision that you will not go back to sleep on your potential. Because every powerful life is built on powerful mornings. And every powerful morning begins with one simple choice: to wake up with purpose and get after it. Excuses are comfortable. They wrap around you like a blanket and make you feel safe, justified, and temporarily at peace with where you are. But let's tell the truth. Every excuse you make is quietly stealing your future. Every time you say, I don't have enough time, what you're really saying is, it's not important enough. Every time you say, I'm too tired, what you're really admitting is that your goals don't have enough power over your comfort. And every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, you are pushing your dreams further away without even realizing it. The problem with excuses is not just that they delay action. It's that they slowly train your mind to accept less than what you're capable of. They become a habit, a pattern, a default response to anything difficult. And over time, you don't even notice anymore. You start believing your own limitations. You start building a life around reasons instead of results. But deep down, you know the truth. You know you're capable of more. You know there's another version of you. The one who doesn't complain, who doesn't wait, who doesn't look for shortcuts or easy ways out. And that version of you is not waiting for motivation. That version of you is waiting for you to stop making excuses. Taking responsibility is not easy because it forces you to look at your life without filters. It means no blaming your past, no blaming your circumstances, no blaming other people. It means standing in front of your reality and saying, this is on me. That's uncomfortable. That's heavy. But it's also where your power begins. Because the moment you accept that everything in your life is a result of your actions or inactions, you also realize that you have the ability to change it. You are no longer a victim of your situation. You become the creator of your outcome. Think about how powerful that is. If your habits created your current life, then new habits can create a new one. If your excuses kept you stuck, then discipline can set you free. But it starts with honesty. Brutal, uncomfortable honesty. You have to stop sugarcoating your delays and start calling them what they are. Choices. You chose to stay in bed. You chose to scroll instead of work. You chose comfort over progress. And if you chose it once, you can choose differently the next time. That's the shift. That's the turning point. Because once you remove excuses, there is nothing left but action. No more hiding, no more waiting, no more pretending. Just you, your goals, and the work that needs to be done. And here's the reality. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to wake you up every morning and push you toward your dreams. No one is going to hand you success because you had a hard day or a tough past. The world doesn't reward excuses. It rewards effort, consistency, and resilience. So you have a choice. You can keep telling yourself the same stories, keep repeating the same patterns, and stay exactly where you are, or you can draw a line right now and say, no more. No more waiting for perfect conditions. No more blaming things you can't control. No more talking yourself out of your own potential. You can decide that from this moment forward, your actions will speak louder than your reasons. That when things get hard, and they will, you won't look for a way out. You'll look for a way through. Because greatness is not built on convenience. It's built on commitment. It's built on showing up when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, when it's difficult. And every time you choose action over excuse, you are proving to yourself that you are stronger than your limitations. So stop explaining why you can't and start proving why you can. Because the life you want is waiting on the other side of that decision. Motivation is a beautiful feeling, but it's also one of the most unreliable forces you will ever depend on. Some days you wake up energized, focused, ready to take on the world. And on those days, everything feels possible. You work harder, you think clearer, you push further. But then there are other days when you feel nothing. No drive, no excitement, no spark. And if your life is built on motivation alone, those are the days everything falls apart. That's the problem. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes like waves. It depends on how you feel, and feelings are unstable. But discipline? Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up whether you're tired or energized, whether you're inspired or drained. Discipline is the decision to act regardless of emotion. It's the ability to say, I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. And that right there is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Because anyone can take action when they feel good, but only a few can keep going when they don't. And those few, the disciplined ones, are the ones who build something real, something lasting, something powerful. Think about it. If you only worked on your goals when you felt motivated, how far would you really go? A few days of effort, maybe a week, and then you'd slow down, get distracted, and eventually stop. Not because you're incapable, but because you're inconsistent. And inconsistency kills progress. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how smart you are, or how big your dreams are. If you can't show up consistently, none of it will matter. That's why discipline is everything. Discipline turns small actions into daily habits. It removes the need for constant emotional energy and replaces it with structure and routine. It creates a system where progress becomes automatic. You don't wake up asking yourself whether you should work. You already know you will. You don't waste time negotiating with your mind. You've already made the decision. And that's where your power grows. Because every time you follow through, especially when you don't feel like it, you strengthen your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who does what needs to be done no matter what. And once that identity is built, everything changes. You stop relying on temporary feelings and start relying on permanent habits. You stop chasing motivation and start commanding results. So the goal is not to stay motivated forever. That's impossible. The goal is to become disciplined enough that you don't need motivation anymore. Build routines that carry you through your worst days. Set standards that you refuse to break no matter how you feel. Decide in advance who you are and how you operate. And then live by that decision daily. Because life will test you. There will be days when everything feels heavy, when your energy is low, when distractions are everywhere, when quitting feels easier than continuing. And in those moments, motivation will be silent. It won't show up to save you. But discipline will. Discipline will remind you of your commitment. It will push you to take one step, then another, and another, until momentum returns. And that's how success is built, not in bursts of inspiration, but in quiet, repeated acts of discipline that no one sees. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel inspired. And start training yourself to act regardless. Because the moment discipline becomes your foundation is the moment your life begins to change for real. Your mind is the control center of everything you do. And whether you realize it or not, it is constantly shaping your reality. Every action you take, every decision you make, every risk you avoid, it all begins in your mind. If your mind is weak, distracted, or filled with doubt, your life will reflect that. You will hesitate when you should move. You will overthink when you should act. And you will quit when things get uncomfortable. But if your mind is strong, focused, and conditioned for growth, you become unstoppable. The truth is, the biggest battles you will ever face are not out there in the world. They are inside your own head. It's the voice that tells you you're not good enough. The fear that whispers, "What if you fail?" The doubt that tries to keep you playing small. And if you don't learn to control that voice, it will control you. You'll start believing limits that don't even exist. You'll start creating barriers that were never real. That's why mindset is everything. Because the way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the life you live. But controlling your mindset doesn't mean you'll never have negative thoughts. It doesn't mean fear disappears or doubt vanishes completely. It means you stop letting those thoughts decide your actions. It means you become aware of them, but you don't obey them. When your mind says, "This is too hard," you respond with, "This is how I grow." When it says, "You might fail," you answer, "Then I'll learn and come back stronger." It's about training your mind the same way you train your body. Through repetition, through effort, through consistency. You don't build a strong mindset overnight. You build it every time you choose courage over comfort. Every time you choose focus over distraction. Every time you choose belief over doubt. And slowly, something powerful starts to happen. The voice that once held you back becomes quieter. The hesitation that once stopped you begins to fade. You start trusting yourself more. You start taking action faster. You start seeing challenges not as threats, but as opportunities. And that shift, that internal transformation, is what separates those who stay stuck from those who rise. Because once your mind is aligned with growth, nothing external can truly stop you. So guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Be careful what you feed it, what you listen to, what you allow to influence your thinking. Replace negativity with purpose, distractions with focus, and fear with action. Speak to yourself with strength, not weakness. Remind yourself daily of who you are becoming and why you started, because the world will test you. There will be moments when things don't go your way, when progress feels slow, when results aren't immediate. And in those moments, your mindset will either break you or build you. If you let doubt take over, you'll stop. If you stay focused, you'll push through. It's that simple. You don't need a perfect situation. You don't need perfect timing. You need control over your own mind. Because once you master your thoughts, you master your actions. And once you master your actions, you take control of your future. And when your mind is fully under your command, there is nothing left that can stand in your way. There's a big difference between wishing for something and deciding you're going to achieve it. And that difference comes down to one thing: clarity. Most people move through life with vague ideas, like, I want to be successful, I want to be rich, or I want a better life. But vague goals create vague actions, and vague actions lead to vague results. If you don't know exactly what you're aiming, for how will you ever know if you're getting closer? How will you measure your progress? How will you stay focused when distractions come your way? You won't. You'll drift. You'll stay busy but not productive. You'll work hard but not move forward. That's why setting clear goals is not optional. It's essential. It's the difference between running in circles and running towards something meaningful. When your goals are clear, your mind sharpens. Your decisions become easier. Your energy becomes directed. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter because you know exactly what does. And that clarity gives you power. It gives your effort purpose. It gives your actions direction. It turns your daily routine into a mission instead of just a habit. But clarity alone is not enough. You have to make your goals real. You have to define them in a way that leaves no room for confusion. What exactly do you want? How much? By when? Why does it matter to you? The more specific you are, the more your mind can lock in and focus. Because your brain works best with clear instructions. If you tell yourself, I want to improve, that's too open, too loose. But if you say, I will wake up at 6 a.m. every day, work on my craft for 2 hours, and improve by 1% daily, now you have something real. Now you have something you can act on. And once your goals are clear, you can break them down into steps, small, manageable actions that you can take every single day. That's how big dreams become achievable. Not through one giant leap, but through consistent, focused effort over time. And here's where most people fail. They get overwhelmed by the size of their goals and stop before they even start. But you don't need to see the entire path. You just need to see the next step. Take that step, then the next, then the next. Stay locked in on the process, and the results will follow. Because every great achievement is built on small, clear, repeated actions done with intention. And once your goals are set, you must protect them. Not everyone will understand your vision, and that's okay. Not everyone will support your journey, and that's expected. But your job is not to convince others. It's to stay committed. There will be distractions. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when progress feels slow or invisible. But if your goals are clear and your reasons are strong, you will keep going. You won't quit because things get hard. You won't lose focus because something easier comes along. You'll stay locked in because you know exactly what you're working toward. And that kind of focus is rare. That kind of commitment is powerful. It turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. So don't just dream, define. Don't just hope, decide. Get clear about what you want, commit to it fully, and chase it with everything you have. Because once your goals are clear, your path becomes unstoppable. And your future becomes something you create, not something you wait for. There's a moment that comes to everyone. The moment where you know what you should do. You feel that pull inside you. You understand the direction, and yet you hesitate. You pause. You wait. You tell yourself, I'll start later. I need more time. I need to be more ready. And in that small moment of hesitation, something powerful slips away. Because the truth is, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect condition. There is no magical moment where everything aligns and suddenly makes action easy. That moment doesn't exist. What exists is now. And what separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck is one simple decision: to act immediately. Taking action is where everything begins. Not planning, not thinking, not dreaming. Action. Because you can have the best ideas, the biggest goals, the clearest vision, but if you don't act, none of it matters. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And the longer you wait to cross that bridge, the further your destination feels. You don't need more time. You don't need more information. You don't need more confidence. You need to move. Even if it's messy, even if it's uncertain, even if it's imperfect. Because progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from movement. And here's the reality. Waiting is a trap. It feels safe. It feels logical. It feels responsible. But most of the time, waiting is just fear in disguise. It's your mind trying to protect you from discomfort, from failure, from the unknown. It tells you to prepare more, to think more, to delay just a little longer. But while you're waiting, life is moving. Opportunities are passing. Time is slipping. And the gap between where you are and where you want to be is getting wider. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. Doubt grows stronger. Fear becomes louder. And your confidence begins to fade. But the moment you take action, everything shifts. Fear starts to shrink. Confidence starts to build. Momentum begins to form. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to take the first step. Because that first step leads to the next and the next. And before you know it, you're moving forward. You're learning, you're adapting, you're growing. And that's something you will never gain by standing still. Action creates clarity. Action creates confidence. Action creates results. And the faster you act, the faster your life begins to change. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow, next week, or when everything feels right. It will never feel perfect. And that's okay. You don't need perfect. You need courage. You need the willingness to move despite uncertainty, to begin despite fear, to try despite doubt. Because every successful person you look up to started the same way, uncertain, unprepared, and imperfect. The only difference is they didn't wait. They acted. They took that first step. They kept going, adjusting along the way, learning as they move forward. And you can do the same. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can stay where you are, stuck in planning and hesitation, or you can move. You can take that step, make that call, start that project, begin that journey. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Because once you start, everything changes. The energy shifts. The mindset shifts. The possibilities open up. And that's how progress begins. Not someday, not later, but right now. So take the step, make the move, and prove to yourself that you're not here to wait. You're here to take action and get it done. Everyone loves the idea of success, but very few fall in love with the process that actually creates it. Because the truth is, success is not built in one big moment. It's built in the small, quiet, repeated actions that most people overlook. It's built in what you do every single day, not what you do once in a while. And that's where consistency comes in. Consistency is not exciting, it's not glamorous, and it doesn't always feel rewarding in the moment. It's waking up and doing the work when you don't feel like it. It's showing up when there's no applause, no recognition, no immediate results. It's choosing discipline over comfort again and again and again. And that's why most people struggle with it. Because consistency requires patience. And patience is hard when you want results now. But here's the truth you need to understand. Anything meaningful takes time. Growth takes time. Progress takes time. Transformation takes time. And if you're not willing to stay consistent long enough to see it through, you'll quit right before the results start to show. Think about it like this. Every action you take is like placing a brick. One brick on its own doesn't look like much. It doesn't feel like progress. It doesn't seem significant. But if you place that brick every single day with intention and focus, eventually you build something powerful. A wall, a foundation, a structure that stands strong. But if you place a few bricks one day, skip the next 3, then come back for a little while and disappear again, you never build anything solid. You stay stuck in the cycle of starting and stopping, always busy but never progressing. That's what inconsistency does. It keeps you in motion without moving you forward. And it's frustrating because you feel like you're trying, you feel like you're putting in effort, but the results don't come. Not because you're incapable, but because you're not consistent. Consistency is what turns effort into results. It compounds over time. Small actions repeated daily create massive outcomes. But you have to trust the process. You have to keep going even when you don't see immediate change. Because just like anything in life, the results are often invisible at first. The growth is happening beneath the surface. And if you quit too early, you'll never see what could have been. So the real question is not, can you? Do it. Because you can. The real question is, can you keep doing it? Can you show up on the days when you're tired, when you're bored, when you feel like nothing is happening? Can you stay committed when progress feels slow and results feel far away? Because that's where the difference is made. Anyone can start strong. Anyone can be motivated for a few days, but only a few can stay consistent long enough to win. And those are the people who succeed, not because they're more talented, not because they're luckier, but because they refuse to stop. They understand that consistency beats intensity, that showing up daily, even in small ways, is more powerful than going all out once in a while. So make a decision. No more stopping and starting. No more waiting for motivation. No more breaking your own promises. Show up every day. Do the work. Stay locked in. Because the life you want is not built in a single moment of greatness. It's built in the daily habit of not giving up. Comfort feels good. It's easy. It's familiar. It's safe. It's the place where nothing challenges you, nothing stretches you, nothing demands more from you than what you're already used to giving. And that's exactly why it's dangerous. Because while you're sitting in comfort, your potential is quietly fading in the background. You convince yourself that you're okay, that things are good enough, that you'll push harder later. But later never comes. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. And before you know it, you've built a life that feels stable but not fulfilling. A life where you're not failing, but you're not growing either. And deep down, you feel it. That quiet frustration, that inner voice telling you that you're capable of more. The truth is, nothing extraordinary has ever been built inside a comfort zone. Growth requires pressure. It requires challenge. It requires you to step into situations where you're unsure, where you're stretched, where you're forced to become more than you currently are. Because that's how transformation happens. Not by staying where it's easy, but by stepping into what's difficult. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It's the signal that you're moving in the right direction. Every time you feel nervous before taking a step, every time you feel resistance before doing something hard, every time you feel that inner struggle telling you to stop, that's the moment that matters most. That's where growth lives. Most people run from that feeling. They avoid it, they distract themselves from it, they choose the easier path just to escape it. But the ones who succeed, they lean into it. They understand that discomfort is temporary, but the growth it brings is permanent. They train themselves to act despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, despite the resistance. And over time, something powerful happens. The things that once felt uncomfortable start to feel normal. The challenges that once scared them become part of their routine, and their capacity expands. They become stronger, more confident, more resilient. Not because life got easier, but because they got better. That's the shift you need to make. Stop seeing discomfort as something to avoid, and start seeing it as something to embrace. Because every time you choose discomfort over ease, you are investing in a stronger version of yourself. So when you're faced with a choice, the easy way or the hard way, choose the hard way. Not because it's painful, but because it's powerful. Choose the workout when you feel tired. Choose the work when you feel distracted. Choose the risk when you feel afraid. Choose the growth when comfort is calling you back. Because every one of those choices is shaping who you become. You don't build strength by staying comfortable. You don't build confidence by avoiding challenges. You don't build success by doing what's easy. You build it by stepping into the discomfort, by pushing through resistance, by proving to yourself that you can handle more than you think. And the more you do it, the more your limits expand, the more your mindset shifts, the more unstoppable you become. So stop running from discomfort. Stop waiting for things to feel easy. They won't, and they're not supposed to. Because everything you want, every goal, every dream, every level of success is sitting just outside your comfort zone, waiting for you to have the courage to step into it and claim it. Life will test you. It will push you, pull you, challenge you, and at times it will try to break you. It doesn't matter who you are, how talented you are, or how prepared you think you are. Life is going to throw obstacles in your path. And that's not a punishment. It's the way growth happens. Every challenge, every setback, every struggle is an opportunity to build something inside you that can't be taken away. Mental toughness. Mental toughness isn't about never feeling fear or never failing. It's not about pretending everything is easy or that life isn't hard. Mental toughness is about how you respond to difficulty. It's about standing firm when the pressure is intense. It's about keeping your focus when everything around you is trying to distract you. It's about moving forward when every instinct inside you is telling you to quit. The stronger your mind becomes, the more you realize that external circumstances don't define your results. Your mindset does. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. That's the power of mental toughness, and that's what separates those who give up from those who keep winning. Building mental toughness is not comfortable. It is forged in moments when you feel tested the most. It's created when you face fear, embrace struggle, and refuse to back down. Every time life knocks you down, you have a choice. Stay down or rise stronger. Every time you're told no, rejected, or doubted, you can let it define you, or you can let it fuel you. The most successful people are not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who refuse to let difficulty stop them. They use adversity as a stepping stone. They understand that setbacks are lessons, failures are feedback, and discomfort is a signal that growth is happening. And here's the important part. Mental toughness grows slowly. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens when you consistently challenge yourself, when you consistently push past limits, when you consistently refuse to give in to excuses, fear, or doubt. It's built in small decisions made every day, repeated over and over until they become habit. You show up when it's hard. You stay focused when it's uncomfortable. You persist when most people quit. And over time, you become unshakable. You become someone who doesn't crumble under pressure, but thrives under it. Someone who doesn't run from obstacles, but finds a way through them. Someone who doesn't just survive challenges, but grows stronger because of them. So understand this. The life you want will not be easy. And if you want to achieve something extraordinary, you will be tested. We'll face moments that feel unbearable. You will encounter resistance that feels impossible. And in those moments, your mental toughness is what will carry you forward. It's what will keep you moving when your energy is gone. Your motivation is low, and the world feels like it's against you. The stronger you become mentally, the more resilient, focused, and unstoppable you get. And the amazing part is, mental toughness is not fixed, it is developed. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every time you refuse to quit, you are training your mind to handle more. You are building strength that no one can take from you. You are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought possible. So embrace the tests, embrace the struggles, embrace the resistance, because that is where your true power is forged. And once your mind becomes unshakable, nothing in the world can stop you from achieving your goals. Time is the one resource that none of us can get back. You can earn more money, you can gain more knowledge, you can build more skills, but once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. And that's exactly why time is so powerful, yet so often wasted. Most people treat it like it's endless. They scroll on their phones for hours, procrastinate on the things that matter, and let distractions dictate how their day unfolds. They fill their schedules with busy work instead of meaningful work. And before they realize it, weeks, months, even years have passed with little progress to show for it. But the people who succeed, the people who achieve greatness, understand something that most ignore. They guard their time like it is gold. They know that how they spend their hours directly determines how they spend their lives. Time is not just minutes and seconds. It's energy, focus, and opportunity. Every choice you make about where your attention goes shapes the trajectory of your life. And if you are not intentional with it, life will simply happen to you instead of because of you. The value of time becomes even clearer when you realize that every action has a cost. Every hour you spend watching TV, scrolling social media, or avoiding the work that matters is an hour you will never get back. Every distraction is a decision to delay your progress, to postpone your dreams, and to weaken your momentum. But every moment you invest wisely compounds over time. The hours you spend building your skills, working toward your goals, strengthening your body and mind, or pursuing your passions are not just spent. They multiply. They create momentum, confidence, and results. That's why productivity isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter and guarding your focus. It's about being deliberate about what matters most and saying no to what doesn't. It's about understanding that your time is finite, your energy is limited, and your potential is enormous. And when you act with that mindset, every day becomes an opportunity to move closer to the life you want, instead of drifting further away from it. So stop treating your time like it's limitless. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions. There is no perfect time. The only time you have is now. Protect it fiercely. Plan it carefully. Invest it intentionally. Use it to take action, to learn, to grow, and to build. Cut out distractions, eliminate what doesn't matter, and focus relentlessly on what does. Because the life you dream of is not built in idle hours. It is built in deliberate minutes. Every second counts. Every choice matters. Every day is a chance to move forward or to fall behind. The moment you fully understand the value of your time and treat it as the precious resource it truly is, your results will reflect it. Your life will begin to nudge. Your potential will begin to manifest. And once you start using every moment intentionally, there's nothing left to hold you back from achieving everything you were meant to achieve. Belief in yourself is the foundation of everything you will ever achieve. Without it, no amount of skill, no amount of talent, and no amount of effort can carry you to the heights you're capable of reaching. The world will constantly test you. It will doubt you, challenge you, criticize you, and sometimes even try to convince you that you're not enough. And if you don't believe in yourself first, those external voices will shape your reality. You will start to internalize doubt, hesitation, and fear. You will begin to question your abilities, your decisions, and your worth. But when you develop true self-belief, when you have unwavering confidence in your ability to face challenges and overcome obstacles, you become unstoppable. Because self-belief is not just a feeling, it's a decision. It's the choice to trust yourself, to trust your skills, to trust your potential, and to act even when fear is knocking at the door. It's what allows you to take risks, to push boundaries, and to move forward when others stay stuck. And it starts with a simple understanding. The only approval you need to succeed is your own. Belief in yourself grows stronger every time you take action, especially when you don't feel ready. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every risk you take is proof that you are capable. Confidence is not built in comfort. It is forged in struggle. When you act despite fear, when you push past doubt, when you refuse to quit in the face of difficulty, you are telling yourself something powerful. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of more than you've been told. You are resilient, adaptable, and worthy of success. And each of those victories, no matter how small, compounds over time, creating a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you believe in yourself, the more you act. And the more you act, the stronger your belief becomes. But you cannot rely on others to validate you. True belief is internal. It doesn't depend on applause, recognition, or approval. It's a fire inside you that grows every time you choose to act with courage, to persevere through struggle, and to trust your own decisions. What people see, I've got new men on the side of completeness that backed up the people like they did when they repent. They still feel like they know the property carrying on the choosing of their mind. They still feel like they need the strong dues to completeness. That fire is what carries you forward when the world doubts you, when circumstances are hard, and when everything seems against you. So the question is not whether the world believes in you. It rarely will. The question is whether you believe in yourself, and whether you are willing to nurture that belief every single day. Remind yourself of your wins. Remind yourself of the times you've overcome, the times you've persevered, and the times you've proven your own strength. Speak to yourself with confidence, not doubt. Treat your goals with the seriousness they deserve and refuse to let fear or hesitation hold you back. Because the moment you fully commit to believing in yourself, the world starts to shift. Challenges become opportunities, obstacles become lessons. Fear becomes fuel. And when your belief in yourself becomes unshakable, nothing can stop you from achieving your dreams. Your actions become unstoppable, your mindset becomes unbreakable, and your results will reflect the power of a person who refuses to doubt their own potential. Believe in yourself completely, act with courage, and you will see just how far you can go. Starting strong is easy. Anyone can fire themselves up with motivation, get excited about a goal, and take the first step with energy and enthusiasm. But the true test of a person's character, commitment, and potential lies not in how they begin, but in how they finish. Finishing is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's what separates the people who talk about their goals from the people who actually reach them. Because starting is temporary, finishing is permanent. The first step is exciting, the first day is thrilling, and the first week feels alive with possibility. But as time passes, the excitement fades. Fatigue sets in, distractions appear, challenges arise, and that initial burst of energy isn't enough to carry you all the way. This is where most people fail. They start strong, they take action, they even see small victories, and then they give up too soon. They stop when things get hard, when results don't appear immediately, when the comfort of quitting becomes tempting. But finishing everything you start is what builds real momentum, real confidence, and real results. Finishing is what turns effort into achievement and potential into legacy. Finishing requires more than just motivation. It requires discipline, persistence, and an unshakable commitment to your goals. It means following through when your mind and body are tired, when challenges seem overwhelming, and when it feels like progress is invisible. Every successful person has faced moments when giving up would have been easier, when the obstacles seemed too big or the path too uncertain. But what sets them apart is that they refuse to quit. They understood that the work is not done until it's done, that no result is achieved without completion. They embraced the grind, endured the struggle, and kept moving forward even when it was uncomfortable. And in doing so, they built momentum that compounds over time. Every finished task, every completed project, every goal brought to its conclusion strengthens your mindset, reinforces your confidence, and proves to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. Each finish line crossed is a testament to your resilience, your focus, and your refusal to settle for half measures. So, commit to finishing what you start, no matter how difficult it gets. Don't allow excuses, fear, or fatigue to cut your journey short. Treat your promises to yourself with the seriousness they deserve. When you start, see it through. When you face setbacks, push through them. When the path is unclear, keep moving forward. Every step you take toward completion, no matter how small, builds strength, momentum, and confidence. Don't just start strong. Finish strong. Because the life you want, the goals you set, and the success you dream of are waiting on the other side of persistence, dedication, and follow-through. And when you learn to finish what you start, you transform your efforts into results, your actions into accomplishments, and your potential into reality. Every step we've talked about, waking up with purpose, taking action without excuses, building discipline, controlling your mindset, setting clear goals, embracing discomfort, strengthening mental toughness, valuing your time, believing in yourself, and finishing what you start, comes down to one simple truth. Your life will only change when you decide to take control and refuse to settle for less. Success, growth, and fulfillment are not handed to you. They are earned through consistent effort, relentless focus, and the courage to push past fear, doubt, and resistance every single day. The power to achieve everything you dream of is already inside you. All that remains is for you to wake up, step forward, and get it done.